Hello, my name is WALTR and welcome to a review. I haven't done this in a long time, I know that. And I just watched the Lego Batman, and the reason I wanted to talk about this so much is because I it's fresh off of my mind. I know other people has talked about it, but I just wanted to talk about it, especially just for me. I think this is one of the movies that you absolutely go if you want a good action movie, and that's so weird because it's a Lego movie, and I thought I would be a little over about the stop motion, and in some ways I am. But you have to remember that this is still the kid's imagination, or a kid's imagination. So obviously obviously I would most likely think it's a guy. It's a boy. If it's a girl, kudos to the girl. I don't really care. And obviously this man or boy has information on the previous Batmans, including the Adam West Batman, which I've never watched. To be honest with you, I've never watched the Adam West Batman. I have watched the 1980s Batman with Batman Forever. I never watched Batman and Robin, or I did, but I don't really remember it. I watched I remember mostly Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, so those are the only two that I remember the most. And then they also talked about the Nolan Batmans with Christian Bale, Batman Begins till The Dark Knight Rises, and of course the controversial Batman v Superman, which I thought was really cool as well. I thought they did the visuals really cool. A lot of meta jokes in this, and I kind of expected it because I saw a few reviews about this already. But the one thing they did not really talk about was the action, and this is the most action I've seen in a Batman movie, because I haven't seen an action-packed Batman since The Dark Knight, or Batman Begins, where he's always fighting someone, where he's always shooting something in Batman Begins, and also in The Dark Knight, where he's constantly looking for ways, and the explosions and everything. And I really liked that. I really liked that they incorporated that, as well as, I think for me the only flaw is, if you're gonna watch this, is you have to know that they're going for the heart of Batman here, and that to me is a little bit of a preach, because Batman is Batman, and we all know that Batman is selfish. We all know that Batman is, he's a loner. He's the lone wolf type. But that works so much to his advantage, and yes, of course, it's all bad because he needs people to help him out. But Batman has done this for a few years by himself before recruiting Robin on his team. So that's one of the things that you gotta go in thinking about, because this movie really talks about the family aspect of Batman and what his true fears are, being alone and everything. But I just think that there are so many things better than this, better than that whole focus, because I thought the whole Barbara and Batman thing was gonna go somewhere, but maybe because of Batman, the Killing Joke, maybe they didn't want to touch on that because people are still touchy about that. But I think there was a sort of a romance there, and she didn't look like a teenager, so I'm just saying, guys, come on. I know obviously Batman is definitely older than Barbara, but I mean, come on, it's Bruce Wayne. um, I like that I didn't know it was Michael Cera as Robin, because I was fully expecting like his whiny voice from Scott Pilgrim versus the World, from anything he's in with like James Franco or Jonah Hill, but he didn't do his whiny voice here, and I think I was really thrown off. I was like, wait, who is that as Robin? Ponyhead was in this from Star vs. the Forces of Evil, as Harley Quinn. I thought that I was a little disappointed with her, to be honest, to be really honest, because she just uses like the terms like boo boo and like honeykins and all that, and that's fine. But I was really gunning for her to say puddin', because that is the marquee trademark of Harley Quinn, puddin'. You see it in the animated series of Batman. You see it in the video games even. So I don't know why she didn't say it. Maybe because of Suicide Squad. They made a joke about that as well in the movie. I don't know, guys. I went in this, fully expecting to like it. I did, and I think this is what Warner Brothers needs. Not exactly the whole, make it into Legos thing. I think they need to not think about the story that much. Like, okay, it's always good to have a story, but I feel that I don't know why Warner Brothers seems not to have a writer that is good at capturing the stories of the comics. And this guy obviously is really a comic geek, because he brought in all the other DC villains like the Condiment Man, Calendar Man, and all of those people. Now, if he's not a comic geek, I don't know what is, because maybe he did his research a lot. Maybe he just threw it in there because he was advised to. I don't know, but there is definitely a lean towards the love for it, because he definitely watched the other DC stuff as well and said, no, this is a good Batman. Obviously, he has also a love for the 60s Batman, because Alfred is like, what? I miss the 60s, and that was a cheap laugh. I have to admit that, but whatever. So I would say go in this if you are really a fan of Batman, if you're really a fan of DC comics. But I as a person who just watches DC on a not on a regular basis, nor do I really remember the comics that much anymore. But I still got the jokes, because it's still based on all those movies and all those creations before this Batman. And Will Arnett is always gonna be BoJack for me, so I was like fully expecting the horsing around theme to be like in one of the billboards in the back, somewhere in the back, like BoJack Horseman season 4 coming soon or something. I don't know. Rosario Dawson, I didn't know that was her. Honestly, people told me it was her. I didn't believe them. I went in this and I heard her, and I was like, no, that's not Rosario Dawson, is it? And the credits were like, yep, it's Rosario Dawson, and I'm like, wow, okay, she could do really good voice work, because she didn't she didn't come off as Claire from Luke Cage or Jessica Jones. So I thought she really did a good job there. Or maybe I'm not used to her yet because I don't hear her on a consistent basis because she's not in many episodes, to be honest with you. So I think this movie is not as average as Batman v Superman is really dull. Like if you came in as a hardcore fan as well, I think it would have been so dull until the fight scene, of course. And this is not dull at all. There's not one dull moment. Okay, there's a few pauses for you to catch your breath and go, okay, I can breathe again, and then you go back into the action. And when I said maybe they should stop thinking about the story, I don't mean don't think about where your characters are going. Think about that, but I just mean don't think about it too much, because if you overcomplicate the story like in Batman v Superman, then you have more questions that need to be answered. And this one, they kept it compact and simple and very tight written, so that it's one character does this, one character does that, and then okay, the only gripe I have is the Joker, because I felt he was really whiny in this. I heard some people liked this rendition of the Joker, but honestly, I don't know what's wrong with DC and the Joker now. Come on, the Joker is a simplistic character. You don't need to make him more human. We know that he's not human anymore. He's become more animalistic. He's become, he's supposed to be an animal. He's supposed to be that person who's gone off the rails and to other people who's not a human anymore. But Batman can still see a little bit of the humanity in the Joker, and I felt that they didn't do it right here. I felt they didn't do it justice here, because it's all about their relationship. I don't know why, because in a lot of the other Batmans, he's kind of acknowledged that Batman has kind of acknowledged that, but obviously I think maybe the director, writer, whoever was like, nah, let's push that in, just push it down and see if we get anything. And yeah, I guess Batman's never outright said it, but he has in the comics. He has in The Killing Joke, especially. I think that's a very, very good example, because the Joker, he does become sane at one point, and the Joker says, you had all the chances, and I think that if you don't kill me, then I will just continue, because if I'm alive and you're alive, we're gonna continue doing this forever. And Batman's like, yep, I think that too, but I still can't kill because that's my rule. And that's always been their relationship, that cold but both understanding. And I think, yes, this is still a kid's imagination, but I don't think that the kid would go too overtly dramatic about the Joker and Batman's relationship. A lot of people are saying, Joker is gay for Batman, and I'm like, no, this is just, again, something the creators want to push, is that the Joker's relationship to Batman is important, but they just didn't come off right. It just didn't come off right. So I definitely give this movie maybe I can't really give it an 8, because there were some flaws, because I think the ending especially, I thought was a bit oversaturated with the whole like villains everywhere and all of that. But I definitely think that it was kind of nice seeing other excuse me other villains in this, like Sauron, Voldemort. Um, I think that was supposed to be Godzilla, not sure. King Kong, some sea monsters that I'm not sure is all. The dinosaurs, like T-Rex and everything, that's supposed to be like Jurassic Park or something, I'm not sure. Why are they villains? Like, that's my only question from this movie. Like, how come they're villains? Like, I know that they chase humans around, but if you really think about it, it is the humans that kind of provoked the dinosaurs first. So, I mean, I'm just saying, guys. Anyway, so yeah, I think this is about a solid 7.4 maybe. It's not the top of my list. It's not the best ever, but I think it's really action packed, and I think it shows that Batman can be action packed again, and it doesn't really have to be, thought provoking like in the Nolan films, or well, in the Nolan films as well. It's more the sequence of events that cause this, and then you go into the thought-provoking side of it. But this one was just a really fun action, like, here we go, and then you got the Legos shooting, and I just love that they go pew 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 pew. So it's definitely a kid's imagination then, because why would the Legos need to vocalize their gunshots, because you see the guns going off. So yeah, that's it, guys, and I will see you at Supergirl. See you then.